Look, man, you've outgrown that old environment already. You've outgrown that life already, man. So now it's time to actually leave it. It's actually time to leave those old habits behind, those old people behind, those old environments behind, like whatever might have felt comfortable before. That old life has now turned uncomfortable. And that's because you've outgrown it. That's because you've become a new person and, you've made progress. So once, your life doesn't fit that anymore, it's not a problem. Like, it's not a problem that you've outgrown these people. It's not a problem that, you've outgrown these environments because that's growth. That's progress. Like, your growth is going to make those old spaces and those old environments, a little bit uncomfortable. And that's fine. Like, you're able to grow in uncomfortable situations, like I always say. So you can't grow and stay the same at the same time. You feel me? You can't grow and stay comfortable at the same time. Those old habits, those old conversations, the old places, the old patterns that once, might have felt normal, they might have made you comfortable, are now draining you. They're now making you feel some negative things. They're now holding you back. They're now, just not fitting the life that you're trying to live. And that discomfort that you might be feeling, it's not confusion. It might feel like you might feel like, why are these people, not my type of people anymore? Why are these environments not my type of environments anymore? Or why do I feel like I don't, get along with these different people anymore? So it's not confusion, but that's just confirmation that you have changed. That's confirmation that you have grown. That's confirmation that you have made the progress that you've been working towards, for however long you've been working towards it. Like, you got to stop holding on to that past you, that old you. Like, you've healed from that. You've grown from that. It's time to let that go. When you're holding on, like, that's only slowing you down. That's only stopping you from growing even more and stopping you from making even more progress. Like, sometimes the reason you might feel stuck is because you're clinging and you're trying to stick with the old, version of your life that God has already, moved you past or pulled you out of. Like, you can't step into the next chapter of your life, that best version of yourself, those goals that you have for yourself, while you're refusing to put an end to the last chapter. You're refusing to close the book on the last chapter that you might have lived. Like, what got you here to this point in life will not get you to where you're going. Like, you gotta take another route. You gotta level up and, leave that past behind. You gotta leave the old you behind. Like, you've already outgrown that. You feel me? You've prayed for growth, you've prayed for progress, and you got that. So now it's time to let the old you go. It's time to let the old things, the old habits, the old routines, the old environments, the old people in your life. Like, it's time to let all those things go and step into this new chapter of your life. You feel me? Like, it's going to require courage to do that. It's going to require bravery. It's going to require, obedience to do all these things. Like, leaving requires you to be courageous. It requires you to be obedient to what God is trying to, move you into, what God is trying to tell you. Like, outgrowing a life is going to make you make hard decisions. It's going to make you, cut some people off or change environments, whatever it might be. And that's fine. You feel me? Like, it's going to be hard to make decisions that are going to cost you comfort, that are going to cost you familiarity, that are going to cost you some people, that are going to cost you, relationships. Like, it's hard to make those decisions, but at some point you got to be obedient. You feel me? At some point, you just got to take a risk in that part of life. You just got to be courageous in that part of life, because God is not going to be able to elevate you and move you to where you want to be and put you where you want to be if you keep returning and running back to what he already brought you out of, what he already delivered you from. You feel me? What he already, changed in your life. So sometimes obedience is going to look like walking away, even when people might be mad at you for it, or people might, not give you that applause for being obedient. People might talk down to you for walking away, but they don't know how much you've changed. They don't know how much you've grown. They don't know how much, progress you've made in order to do that. You know what I'm saying? So if you're feeling that idea or that thought to just move forward and leave some things behind, like, don't ignore that. Like, it's time to, move forward, even if it makes you uncomfortable, even if it might not feel right in your head right now. Like, you still got to move forward because you've already outgrown that life. You've already outgrown that old version of you, and you got to honor that growth. You got to honor, that progress, so it's time to leave behind what no longer is aligning with who you're becoming or who you've already became. You know, the goals that you have for yourself, the dreams that you have for yourself, like all that. You know what I'm saying? It's time to leave all those things behind and move into a life that aligns with the future you, with who you're becoming, and you know who you might have already became. But that'll be all for this video, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you like this video, go hit that sub button. On the way to 800 subs. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I'll see y'all on the next one.